was just under 4G. I told him we the 10s at 2 grams. And we the 8s about.
Alexander Usyk just attacked Daniel Dubois on the streets. Usyk turned the heat all the way up by confronting Dubois head-on, in broad daylight like a man possessed. There was no more talk and no more build-up. Usyk made it personal. He stepped out of the ring to make a violent statement. This wasn't hype. This was war in the open. And if you thought that was intense, just wait until you hear what Usyk threatens next.
My dream. Now my dream
Usyk just exploded with raw rage, throwing boxing rules out the window and calling for a brutal street brawl. No gloves, no mercy, just bare fists and pure violence. This isn't about titles anymore, this is personal warfare. Fans are stunned. Usyk has gone full savage, and Dubois might not be ready for this level of madness.
Tyson Fury shouting about I want the fight with the rematch with Usyk. I get that. I'm feeling. But when you've lost to someone and you're talking about I'm going to fight somebody else, but I really beat him, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. If you think you beat the guy that beat you in your last fight, he's.
Usyk's threats weren't just empty words. He demanded a bare-knuckle street fight with fists and legs flying. That kind of unhinged aggression sent shockwaves through the boxing world. But now Dubois is throwing fuel on the fire, promising to get under Usyk's skin with bombs and pure savagery. The tension has snapped. Dubois thinks brute force will rattle Usyk, but after seeing Usyk unleash on the streets, fans are wondering if Dubois has already stepped into something far more dangerous. Then he imagined,
I'm gonna get under this game with these punches, with these bombs I'm gonna be throwing, so yeah.
These punches, these bombs, I'm going to be throwing, so yeah, you forget diplomacy. After Usyk's wild street threats and Dubois's violent promises, this isn't just a title fight, it's a war for legacy. Frank Warren might call it magnificent, but fans? No, it's spiraling into pure chaos. With 4 belts at stake and no respect left between them, this could be the most savage showdown in UK boxing history.
4 belts have been on the line in this country, and for a Brit to win it will be, if he comes through, Daniel would be the first guy to do it. So this is just a magnificent opportunity for him.
Derek Chisora isn't sugarcoating it. To beat Usyk, you've got to be unhinged, not aggressive, not confident, flat out, mentally disturbed. This isn't about jabs and footwork, it's about entering darkness and thriving in it. That's the chilling level Usyk fights at. The real question now is, does Dubois have that madness in him, or is he already out of his depth? And it gets deeper. Teddy Atlas reveals the exact moment Usyk crushed Dubois' momentum.
Under Usyk, you have to be mentally disturbed in your head. Yeah?
You have to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
Teddy Atlas just pinpointed the moment Daniel Dubois' fate was sealed. Round 6. That's when Usyk flipped the switch, crushed Dubois' rhythm, and reminded the world what separates champions from contenders. The reality is, Dubois thought he had momentum, but Usyk ripped it away with surgical precision. This is the same Usyk who's now out on the streets threatening bare-knuckle beatdowns and yet still composed. Enough in the ring to shut you down the second you dare to believe. On the other hand, Dubois looked strong early, but once Usyk dialed in, it was a slow, brutal unraveling. What's more, this wasn't a lucky moment, it was calculated dominance. That's exactly why boxing minds like Teddy Atlas don't see this as a 50-ish fight. The truth is, once Usyk smells fear, he shuts you down without mercy. And speaking of fear, Peter Fury explains why Dubois still might not even reach Usyk, let alone hurt him.
I kind of figured that one out. But at the end of the day, the whole turning point was after the 5th. It was the 6th round. He did what winners do. He said, a winner never lets you get momentum, does he? No, a winner's not.
Peter Fury gives Dubois some credit. Sure, he's improved, matured, and looks more composed. But here's the twist, none of that matters if you can't even land a clean shot. Usyk is a ghost, and they're elusive, awkward, and maddening to hit. He doesn't just dodge punches, he makes you miss so badly, it drains your confidence. Because of this, Dubois' entire plan to be a savage collapses the second he's forced to chase shadows. Moreover, Peter Fury calls him a box of tricks, and that's exactly it. Usyk baits you, frustrates you, then punishes your mistakes. Dubois may bring power, but if he can't touch him, it's useless. The real issue is whether Dubois can keep his composure when nothing lands. One wild swing, one mistake, and Usyk will capitalize like he always does. But here's where things get interesting. Duke McKenzie doesn't even give Dubois a puncher's chance.
Like your best friends?
I love you, man.
Their buddies? Like they were family friends? I mean, can you imagine Muhammad Ali or like Joe Frazier having dinner together? What? Can you imagine Mike Tyson?
Duke McKenzie keeps it brutally honest. Dubois could flatten almost anyone else in the division, but against Usyk, no chance. Too smart, too slick, too experienced. That's the kind of dismissive verdict that stings, especially for Dubois fans hoping for an upset. What's more, McKenzie doesn't even hesitate. He's seen what Usyk can do to heavy-handed brawlers who rely on raw power. Usyk's ring IQ is levels above. He downloads you, reads your every twitch, and then embarrasses you with counter shots you never saw coming. On the flip side, Dubois has shown flaws when pressured by superior movement, and that's all Usyk does. The burning question is, how do you beat a guy you can't touch, outthink, or intimidate? The truth is, even those backing Dubois know Usyk is built different. And just when you think Usyk's unstoppable, Johnny Nelson throws a curveball about his hunger fading.
Said previously, if Daniel Dubois was fighting anybody else, I'd back him to win, 100%. But in Alexander Usyk, you know, because when I watch Usyk fight, and I've studied him, you know, he's a cruiserweight coming up to the heavyweight.
Johnny Nelson drops a shocking take, suggesting Usyk's hunger might be fading his foot halfway out the sport after all the street fight chaos and dominant victories. Could the fire actually be dying out? That raises the question, is Usyk mentally checked out? On the other hand, Dubois is hungrier than ever, staring at 4 belts in a legacy-making moment. But here's the twist. Usyk's slipping appetite hasn't stopped him from smashing world champions and intimidating opponents outside the ring. Moreover, Nelson admits Usyk still knows what to do in training. That's exactly why fans are torn. Even if he's at 80%, he's still smarter, slicker, and far more dangerous than most. If this is Usyk on the decline, what does that say about everyone he's already destroyed? And if he's still that good, while supposedly fading, Dubois might be in more trouble than we thought.
He's Usyk talking like that. He's got 1 foot out already if he's talking like that. That means, as far as I'm concerned, I sense his appetite is slipping away. He's very professional, gets the job done, knows what he has to do in the ring and in training. But to me, he's now 1 foot out.
Carl Froch isn't just hyping Usyk, he's laying down a brutal truth. Usyk's resume reads like boxing mythology. Over 300 amateur fights, Olympic gold, undisputed cruiserweight, domination, and now he's torn through the heavyweight elite like it was nothing. He didn't just beat Anthony Joshua, he schooled him twice. He didn't just edge out Tyson Fury, he dethroned the so-called Gypsy King. And yes, he's already dismantled Daniel Dubois once. The reality is, you can call him El Supo, the King, the Matrix, it doesn't matter. What matters is this man makes legends look ordinary. Moreover, Froch hits a nerve by reminding everyone that this isn't a new chapter, it's a rerun for Dubois. And to make matters worse, Usyk's now stepping outside the ring, threatening street fights and humiliation. That's exactly why fans are rattled. Because the same guy capable of breaking you in the ring is now taunting you on the pavement. The moment of truth is coming, and Dubois is staring down a man who's already ended dynasties. But on the flip side, Daniel Dubois isn't backing down, and his next words are pure fire.
Cruiserweight king. Simple as that, king. It's the only word you can use to describe and define this guy. He's a king of the cruiserweight division. Then he steps up to heavyweight and he reigns havoc. He's beat AJ twice. He's beat Tyson Fury twice. He's already beaten.
Daniel Dubois is done talking tactics. He wants chaos, total destruction, followed by his own version of redemption. His words are defiant, savage, and loaded with pressure. He's no longer playing the humble role. He's coming to cause war in the ring and walk out as the man who brought order by knocking down a king. The confidence is oozing, but here's where things get dangerous. Against any other fighter, that mindset might work, but against someone like Usyk, confidence alone isn't enough. Usyk thrives in chaos. He manipulates it, controls it, and then flips it back on his opponents. Moreover, the last time Dubois stepped into the ring with Usyk, that same chaos ended in him taking a knee and quitting. Even worse now, Usyk's poking him outside the ropes, baiting him into a mental breakdown before the bell even rings. But here's the twist. Dubois seems different now, focused, unapologetic, and fans can't ignore the fire in his eyes. If he truly embraces the storm, maybe, just maybe, he pulls off the unthinkable. And to cap it off, Lennox Lewis throws down a heavyweight vote of confidence.
Confidence, I'm ready to seize victory.
Is it about throwing the kitchen sink?
It's about getting victory, seriously, you know. I've worked hard for it and now I want to cause chaos in the ring and restore it with order, with victory. So that's my,
Lennox Lewis doesn't hand out praise lightly, so when he backs Daniel Dubois, it makes everyone stop and listen. He calls it like it is. This isn't an easy task. In fact, it might be the most dangerous mission in modern heavyweight history. But what's more important is that Lewis believes Dubois has done the work. He's weathered the setbacks, sharpened his skills, and embraced the pain of failure. Moreover, Lennox refers to him as a certified champion, not a prospect, not a brawler, but a fighter forged in pressure. That's a powerful endorsement. On the flip side, critics will argue this belief is built on hope, not reality, because Usyk has already dismantled him once, and is now threatening to do it again, without gloves. But here's where it gets intriguing. Legends like Lennox don't bet on height, they bet on transformation. Maybe Lennox sees something the rest of us don't. Maybe this is Dubois's resurrection story in the making. No one saw this coming, but if Lewis is right, the division will never be the same.